It is 11:30 in the morning here in Cleveland, and I'm trying to pull out of this parking lot without getting T-boned by some crazy overweight cotton top. The ambulance is here at the grocery store for some reason. It's no wonder most of the people you see in the grocery stores these days they're morbidly obese. Their heart's about to explode at any moment. So the other day I'm in a drugstore buying something. I don't know what I was buying, but I go up to the cashier and she's, I'm 5'11", and she's probably easily at least my height. But she's wearing a bicycle helmet. And I said, oh, hey, how's it going? She's like, good. I said, do you have epilepsy or something? She's like, no, I've got Tourettes Syndrome. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. She's like, yeah, I got Tourettes Syndrome, and it's not the kind where I say bad things. I just beat myself, and I hit myself in the head, and I go crazy. I'm like, oh, wow, that's terrible. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm not laughing at the young lady, but I've mentioned this before. I'm 59 years old with a college degree. I've published 2 documentaries, and I've published 3 novellas and written 150 songs and 5 CDs original music. I worked in the corporate world for 20 years in telecommunications and customer service and sales, and I can't find a job. And if I can't find a job, I can't find one that pays a living wage. So I go into these stores, and there's people that are employed, that are needy. I don't know what you're allowed to say about people. You can't say the R word anymore because they'll spank you for saying the R word. But they're mentally handicapped in some way. So this lady says she punches and beats herself, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I hope I can, please just, let me buy my greeting card, get the hell out of here before you start flagellating yourself in front of me. I don't know what she does, if she hits herself in the head with a bat or something. I don't know. I'd never heard of that one. So today, I just leaving the grocery store. I'm at this wonderful Giant Eagle chain, and I haven't been in Giant Eagle in a while. We don't shop there anymore, but I came down there to get a bag of apples. Got my bag of apples. I went to the evil corporate coffee company, and I got myself a cafe mocha to keep myself awake. And their ingredients is really toxic, but I figured one cafe mocha isn't going to kill me, knock on wood. So I go up to the cashier, and I noticed that there's a lady in front of me checking out, and she is as wide as the aisle is that we're all standing in. And she can't seem to figure out how to operate her credit card. I don't know, this is pretty common these days to know how to tap a credit card on a little screen and pay. It's a pretty instantaneous. You just tap it, it beeps, you take your groceries, you go home. Well, she's having a very, very hard time with this concept. So she finally checks out after 5 minutes and gets out of the way, and I'm next. I buy my apples, and I noticed the guy who's running the cash register is roughly my age, and he's like, oh yeah, man, oh yeah, and he's like, oh my God, I'm almost afraid to talk to him. I'm like, what's wrong with this guy? Because usually at Giant Eagle they put the people with quote issues unquote on bagging. They're the bag people. And there was a guy that used to bag our groceries when we shopped there, to be like, hey, okay, everybody, how's it going? He'd be like that, talking to himself and screaming and yelling, and, you just kind of ignored him. But hey, thanks, and you went on with your day. Now, this guy, I noticed that after this woman in front of me left, and she was out, rummaging through her purse for another donut and a bagel, he was like, okay, lady. He was like Jerry Lewis doing one of his skits. And if you don't know Jerry Lewis, look him up on YouTube. I thought he was funny when I was a kid. And I get up there, and he goes, I'm like, hey, how's it going? He's like, it's going good. How you doing? And I'm like, he goes, I like your shirt. I like your shirt. It's a good color. It's a good color. What kind of color do you call that? And I said, well, I guess it's aqua, or aqua's a good color. Aqua, or, you know, it reminds me of a swimming pool. Yay. And I'm like, oh, Lord. And I don't mean to make fun of him personally, but you see, when I was 12, my mother told me I was retarded. And she said, you're retarded and everybody knows it. There's a story behind the whole thing. I'm not going to go into that, but she said it out of frustration. It's just what every mother does. They always tell their kids they're retarded. It's just what every normal mother does. And I'm being sarcastic. So from the age of 12 until I was about 26, I thought I was like, there's something wrong with me. You know, it was always in the back of my head. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe I got to start acting weird when I apply to jobs. You know, go to jobs and tell them I'm handicapped in the application, because they always ask, you have any disabilities? I'm going to say, yes, I'm disabled. I'm missing my left foot, and I see ghosts. And I talk to Jesus, you know. Oh, okay. Well, how are you, a giant eagle? I've got epilepsy, the kind of epilepsy where I don't know, I dance around. Whenever the song Stairway Heaven comes on, I dance around and I shake and jiggle. I don't know what it is. I can't find a job, and from what I can tell, I'm a fairly, you know I have some issues, but I'm a fairly well-balanced adult male. Can't find work, but you got it made in this town. If you got a few marbles loose, or you got a few, you're not dealing with the full deck. You got it made in the shade. Now, of course, these people probably are not living on their own. They're probably at their parents' house, or at a community home of some sort, or a group home. I don't know. Maybe they're independent. Walking around the town going, everybody, and God forbid, something's going to happen to me. I know that. I'm not healthy right now, but I don't understand it. I don't understand who's hiring what. Who sits down and in human resources and a major drugstore chain or a grocery store chain and goes, you know what? That girl that came in here with the bicycle helmet on, that beat herself in the face with a bat, let's put her on the cash register. Perfect. She's perfect. That guy over there that talks to himself and hears voices, yeah, let's put him on the register. He is the quintessential register person. We need him at the front. Since when did these corporations become charities for people with mental conditions? Healthy people can't find work, yet in these two places, they either hire the old and decrepit, or they hire mentally deficient people. Yet people like me and you, we can't find work. I couldn't even get a job at the Sheets if I wanted to. Or if they hire you, they lie to you. I've had two companies lie right to my face. And one of them, I'm sitting right across from AutoZone. AutoZone, I was going to drive a truck for them, just deliver parts. I get a call the previous day before I go show up for training, and the guy said, you got to come in and learn to run their cash register. I'm like, what? I'm driving a truck. He's like, well, everybody's going to learn the cash register just in case you're short-handed. You have to wait on customers. I said, no, I'm not waiting on customers. I'll drive a truck for you, but I am not waiting on customers. He lied to me in the interview. He said I wouldn't have to wait on customers. There was nothing like that. Oh, no, they hide little things. Well, I tell you what, just don't tell him about having to wait on customers. He'll never take the job for $15 an hour to drive one of your stupid AutoZone trucks around. Guy wanted me to drive a truck all over God's creation in Northeast Ohio. Youngstown, Toledo, Canton, and someplace else. 3 major places. Huge. I mean, this is like a 2-hour drive in some cases each way. For $15 an hour, but granted I get to drive their van. But I turned it down. I'm like, forget it, I'm not coming in. I'm not doing it. Because if they're gonna lie to you in the interview, they're gonna lie to you. They're gonna treat you like a dog once you work there. It's gonna be horrible. I gotta come up with some type of gimmick where I'm like, I was going to become transgender to get a job, but that I don't really want to lop off the old Wonder Weasel between my legs. So maybe I should just pretend like, or, you know, I'm really retarded. Maybe my mother's right, you know, and I've got to just take advantage of my handicap. Mom said that's what I was. Maybe, well, you know, I tell that story. She apologized to me on her deathbed about it. I like to make fun of it. My friends and I made fun of it. My friends all knew about that. My friends couldn't stand my mom. My mom couldn't stand my friends, and my friends thought she was crazy. It turns out, I think they were kind of right. I think my mom kind of lost a little bit of her mental awareness, shall we say. By the time she died, she kind of slipped a few gears. I didn't see it when I was living with her because, you know, you're too close to it. But now you step back and you go, did my mother really say that to me and my siblings? Did my mom really do that to my dad? You know, oh, maybe she was part of the problem. But yeah, I can't find work here. I've all but given up here. There's no point in even looking. And I've seen this all over the internet and all across the country and even around the world. People put these jobs out there that aren't real. And I don't know how you find a job if you're mentally handicapped. You have to have connections. Is there like a mentally handicapped HR staff at Giant Eagle that goes, you know what, Bill? We're short one handicapped person on the registers. Let's call the local home, the group home, and see if they've got any people that are bored, that are tired talking to the wall and hitting themselves in the face with a baseball bat. You know, I gotta go into these places and put on my best, you know, Jerry Lewis impersonation. I'd like to work here. No, hey, lady over there. Oh, don't talk to me right now, Mom. I'm an interview. Oh, Uncle Bill. What? Oh, hey, oh, I'd love to work here. Hey, yeah. I'd be all set. I get hired on the spot. That's how Giant Eagle saves money, people. That's how they save money. If you're from the Pittsburgh area, they're headquartered in Pittsburgh. They save money by hiring people that don't know any better, that they're being taken advantage of because they have a few things wrong upstairs, and they put them on the registers at $8 an hour minimum wage because they're living in a group home, and this is something for them to do to keep themselves busy. Oy vey. You know, that's what they do. They're exploiting handicapped people. Meanwhile, people like me that need work, he'll want $15 an hour and he doesn't talk to himself. I don't know, man. And I don't know, God help us if these people driving in cars. What do you do if you have one of these seizures and you start beating yourself in a car? I should have not pushed that button on the register. You know, this could happen to me. I don't know when this stuff starts happening. Out of the blue, my wife somehow has epilepsy after 50 years. I don't know where that came from. Nobody knows. Nobody has an answer. They got her hopped up on medication to stop it. So maybe it could happen to me. Maybe I'll start talking to myself and beating myself in the face. Maybe it'll do me some good if I start beating myself in the head. I got a Lexus. I drive slow. I don't know, man. It's a weird world we live in. I'm telling you right now. So if you're handicapped, man, go move to Pennsylvania or Ohio and work in their Giant Eagle grocery stores. They'll hire you soon. Yes. Sandy, stop talking to me now. I'm busy. Oh, man. I saw a thing today with Gabe Mate. Is that his name? Gabe Mate? Gabe Mate? Whatever the hell his name is, he talks like this. He's a soft-spoken. He talks that life, if you think your way through life and you move slowly, you can think your way through anything. If you talk like Gabe Mate. Well, anyway, he had some good points. I don't like his persona. I think it's phony because nobody can be that calm and placid all the time. No one. Unless you're on heavy medication. He's saying the kids today are raised in social media. They don't know how to interact with people. They don't know how to think for themselves. They want everything instantaneously. and if they don't get what they want right away, at least the fits of rage. And we've seen it all over the place. We've seen it personally in some cases, and I think social media is driving everyone nuts. The other day I made this video, is everybody going crazy? Yeah, I think we're all losing it. He said that it's been proven, there's been studies showing that the brain loses matter, it shrinks from too much exposure to screen time. And it's really scary. And I think about it now, I've been on these screens now for 20 years, since 2005. When the iPhone came out in 2006, I've been heavily into computers and, thinking I was going to be someone. I'm going to be an artist with a computer. Yes, I'm an artist now. Yes. And that has not really, I am an artist, but no, I haven't become anybody. I'm something to you guys on here, the few of you that watch me. I've got just under 10,000 subscribers. I've got 2 million views, but only 10,000 subscribers. I'll figure that one out. There's something funny with the numbers here, but anyway, our brains are fucked up from these computer screens. And I'm not on the computer hardly anymore. I'm not on YouTube much anymore. I don't make much content. If I do it, I do live streams, so I don't have to sit there and edit it forever. I'm tired of editing shit. I'm going to be working on a documentary with a very talented artist named Fatima Taylor down in Columbus. And I'm excited about that, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, making stuff, thinking something big is going to happen for me. I'm going to go viral. You'll need to get vaccinated because PTPOP is viral. Yes. There's an old car. These old guys that drive around in their old cars, well, they're living in another world, aren't they? I remember back when I had Betty Lou in the front seat, and I banged her hard after junior high school. They're living in long, like prehistoric times. These old 1940, 1950 classically restored vehicles. I remember the driving with Sarah May. We sat there and watched Rock Around the Clock. It was the best of times. A double feature with the creature from the Black Lagoon. I'm telling you, it was the best of times. That's why I go out and buy this very car where I banged Betty Boop. I'm so sick of that. These guys live in their cars. They're in their minds. They're still stuck in 1950. I've never been into cars. I've never been a car guy. I get it. They're cool looking and stuff, but it's just a goddamn car. Like, I know guys that are the same way about their guitars. I'm into guitars, but I know guys that practically fuck their guitars. They're just so into them. Oh man, look at this guitar. Look at the finish on it, man. Look at the knobs on it, man. Oh man, look at this rosewood neck with the ebony neck with the rosewood body. Oh my god, maple finish and all. And meanwhile, they can barely play the thing. I don't understand the point of going out and buying a $10,000 guitar if you can barely play the thing. The only people in the world that need guitars that are that expensive are guys like Clapton. Well, he probably has all his stuff custom made. I know James Taylor has his guitars custom made by Olson Guitars. He's got his guitars are $50,000 to $100,000 a piece. They're handmade. They measure his hands. They get it just to right, but he's a virtuoso at the acoustic guitar. But I saw kids out in Arizona. There's this girl in Arizona. She didn't beat herself in the head. I'm digressing. But I went to this open mic night one night, and there was this really cute girl. She walks in the open mic night, and she's there with her dad. She's maybe 15 years old, real cute. And she gets up and she pulls out this guitar. I think it was an Olson, honestly. I think it was like a $10,000 Olson, one of the low-end Olsons, because the Olsons are not cheap. And the thing is gorgeous, and she's pretty. And she gets up there, and she can barely play a box chord. And she could play just basic strumming, and she had an okay voice. She was all right. I don't remember what she looks like now. I just remember she was cute and young. And her dad is talking to all of us other musicians, to, you know, oh, we're gonna go down to Nashville and market her and get her set up with Jeffrey Epstein and stuff. And I'm like, your daughter's not that good. You know, I know I'm not Elvis or anything, but you can spot somebody that's got charisma and talent and they got something. You can swing a cat in Nashville and hit a girl as bad as her, or 1,000 girls that are 100 times better than her that are trying to do the same thing in Nashville. And this was like almost 20 years ago, and she had this big fancy guitar, custom made. Her dad told us that he had it made for her, and you know, he obviously had some cash, or he was heavily in debt. I'm like, what the hell? But I know lots of guys like that can run out and buy guitars. They think because they buy a Fender Stratocaster, the same kind that Eric Clapton played at the Royal Albert Hall in 1980 or something, that if they buy that, they're going to play just like Clapton. No, you'll never play like Clapton. There's one person that plays like Clapton, and that's Clapton. And the reason he plays like Clapton is because his style of playing is organic to his biology and his mind and his makeup and his experiences and his talent. You'll never play like, there's very few people, and why would you want to play just like Eric Clapton? Why don't you play like Joe Schmo, or whoever you are, Bill Smith, or Joe Flabeats? Why do you got to play like somebody else? I always wanted to play like James Taylor. I always want to play like John Lennon. Well, John Lennon wasn't really a good guitar player. He really wasn't. Regardless, irregardless, is that the expression? Irregardless that he could say, I could make the guitar howl, man, baby. I could make it howl. You don't make the guitar howl, John. That's a line of crap. Jimi Hendrix made it howl. You just sat there and played banjo chords your whole life. It went like this on the piano. Boom, ching, boom, ching. Imagine all the people. Boom, ching, boom, ching. Oh, it's genius. John Lennon's a genius. He makes the piano and the guitar howl. Oh. Maybe John Lennon should have been working at the Giant Eagle. Hey, maybe I should apply to Giant Eagle. I'll probably be a shoo-in if I'm really retarded. But yeah, I know lots of guys have these guitars. No, I do know some guys that have really nice guitars that can play pretty good. But like, I've got my two go-to guitars. I've got two Taylors. I've got a Taylor T5Z Classic and a Taylor 310. And the Taylor 310 is one of their low-end acoustic guitars, but I bought it almost 30 years ago. It was a $1,200 guitar marked down to like $900 or something. And it sounds great. It's a great sounding guitar. I love it. I love it. It would be my drum kit if I was Ringo Starr. But anyway, I don't understand retail anymore. I just don't get it. I don't understand anything anymore. And I don't think this is just me getting old. I think the world is really screwed up. It's really screwy now. You can't find work. Nobody can find work. Just look on TikTok and the internet. Nobody can find work. You can't find work for more than 15 bucks an hour. Nobody can live off of 15 bucks an hour. Nobody can. You know, I just met my friend Randy. He used to be the vice president of a bank. He's got all kinds of finance and banking and sales background. All kinds. He's a really sharp guy. This is a guy that's on top of his game. He can't find work. But he's also my age. And these companies think they know what they're doing. Well, you know, we really got to invest in the young people. We got to invest in the young retarded people, because that's what really makes our company go. You know, we can take advantage of the young people who are beating themselves in the head with a baseball bat. Yes. Put them on put Sally with her football helmet on line 1. Put her on the first lane. She'll scare all the people away. That way we don't have to deal with the crazy customers. I think what's happening, this is my theory, is that each of you are starting to wake up to the atrocities around us and what's going on in the real world, and you're starting to see that these corporations don't give a hoot about any of us, especially the healthcare companies. and you're starting to wake up to it, and it's starting to piss you off, but you know there's not much you can do about it. There's not much any of us can do about it. I'm going in for an operation at the end of June, and I got the bill. You have to go online and you have to pre-register for the procedure. So I pre-registered for it, and I'm on the phone with the girl. The girl called me. She's like, "Hey, Mr. Tompkins, we're just calling to get you pre-registered." Like, okay. So she sends me a text message with the bill. This procedure is going to cost, if I didn't have health insurance, it would have been $45,000. This is a non-invasive surgical procedure that will take the doctor approximately 20 minutes to 40 minutes to do. Okay. But he's also got an anesthesiologist, probably a couple nurses, himself. And I watched it shows you the breakdown of the medical bill. The doctor, of the $45,000, my doctor gets $8,800 of that. Probably enough to put a down payment on, a new jet ski or something, whatever luxurious items he has, because this guy is the director of men's health and urology at the Cleveland Clinic. So this is the guy who's, I guess he's well respected, and he's high up on the food chain, and he knows his shit. And I'm thinking, this is the guy that's running the whole shooting match pretty much. He's probably not the guy, but he's up there. I mean, he only gets $8,800. I mean, that's pretty good for 20 to 40 minutes of work. But it seems like everybody else is getting, the hospital probably gets their cut, and the anesthesiologist gets his cut, and the nurses get their cut. And, there's going to be, they did another procedure on me a few months ago, and there were like 5 people in the room for a 30-second procedure. And I'm laying there naked on a table, with my legs spread. I got a doctor over here who is Indian. I got my doctor who's doing a thing on me between my legs, which I'll leave that out. And then there's like 3 nurses, a juggler and an organ grinder monkey all in the room. I'm like, what the hell? This is like a circus in here, and you're not even doing anything to me. So I can only imagine what this procedure is going to cost. But if I didn't have health insurance, we couldn't do this. It's going to cost us $800. The hospital gets the rest of it. The doctors and nurses and all those people. Just to go in and do what they're going to do on me in 20 minutes. And God forbid it, I hope I don't croak on the table. They're not cutting me open. They're going up through another part of me to cut something out. And Jesus, $45,000. A good thing my doctor doesn't beat himself in the head with a bat and have to wear a bicycle helmet when he's cutting me open or poking me. Good Lord. He would never make it at Giant Eagle. Just kidding, doctor, if you happen to see this. Who is this woman? Okay, she probably lives in the area. So that's it. That was my experience today at the grocery store and the drugstore. It's baffling. It's completely baffling to me how some of these people get jobs, and yet well-abled people can't find work, can't get employed. I don't know if there's there's no government agency that's going to walk into China and go, you know what? We've noticed that you've got a lot of mentally handicapped people running the registers. Are you afraid to hire people that are well-abled? What is this at Giant Eagle? Did they become a charity? And I know some of you, those of you that live in this area in Ohio and Pennsylvania, you know what I'm talking about. Every Giant Eagle you walk into, that's what staffs the registers. It doesn't matter what part of town you go to. Nothing against these people, but could you hire a few people that really need to work, that are trying to support a family, that are trying to make a living, that aren't just like stuck in a group home going like this? I could go to work at Giant Eagle. Oh. Hey, Billy, why don't you go work at Giant Eagle? Good idea, Mom. Good idea. Okay. 5 minutes to Wapner. I guess it's nice. Maybe Giant Eagle's CEO is mentally deranged or something. Maybe he's sitting in a padded room somewhere with a bicycle helmet on, hitting himself in the face with a tennis racket. Maybe so. Maybe he's got a whole family of kids like that. I don't know, and I don't care. So I'm going to head home now. You guys have a fine, fine day, shall we? All right, bye-bye now.